Hello.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hot Smoke and Mirrors. Gotta get that out of the way, you know.
Yeah, gotta do the awkward intro, but I'm Ryker.
I'm M.
And this is the podcast where we just talk about everything and anything, just ADHD, autistic rambling about all of our thoughts and opinions about life, truly.
And we actually are recording the week after we posted a video.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that nothing else bad happens so that we can continue to be consistent.
We're trying. We really are trying.
I don't know. I'm very excited for content. Just out of the blue all of a sudden.
Yeah. If you guys missed it, we did a live stream yesterday on the YouTube channel, and we talked a lot about our plans and just how we were excited for content, and it felt good to be back streaming again because we didn't stream since beginning of February.
Yeah. I mean, I sent you a TikTok from this spiritual content creator who literally described exactly what I was talking about in that live stream.
I haven't watched it yet.
That
I'm
was
so
basically
sorry.
I figured you didn't, but I mostly post you those so that I remember to tell you about them.
Valid.
Because I know you won't watch them because it stresses you out to open TikTok. But I think her username or something on TikTok is Mother Priestess or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think she used to go by the Valkyrie or whatever. But anyways, she basically described, she was like, so there's this moment in my life where I was successful. I had all of my dreams made into a reality. And then all of my life fell apart for 5 years. And literally just yesterday, literally in the last 48 hours, I feel normal again. I feel like me from back then again.
Crazy.
And that's what she said.
That's
this
pretty accurate.
moon, this moon cycle is happening. I don't know what the moon is in, but there's a full moon that's happening tomorrow, Wednesday. And it's supposed to have clarity or whatever. But
let me look it up because now I need to know.
But yeah, no, she literally described exactly what I was feeling, because I say that it was maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago because maybe I didn't realize it, but literally the last 48 hours I feel like whoever was standing on my chest finally took a step off. But I don't know. It's literally the feeling I had was, it was my nervous system was so dysregulated that my body just felt like a constant state of tingling, almost a panic attack. And that's why I was so exhausted for 3 years.
This says, this AI overview on Google says that the moon is transitioning through Virgo and moving into Libra. Bringing a focus on balancing emotions with practical needs, refining routines, and seeking harmony in relationships as a recent Libra full moon energy settles, which I'm a Libra moon.
Yeah, I also learned the other day that your house ruler is whatever your rising sign is in. So you're a Sagittarius rising. I forget what planet is associated to Sagittarius, but I'm a Leo rising. So the sun is the ruler of my house. But it's interesting because then you can do some weird line shit. I'm not an astrologist, but I'm just learning about it. But yeah, the Libra moon, the astrologists of TikTok say that it's going to bring some clarity to your life.
Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius.
That makes sense. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And it's usually a good luck planet. Dude, that makes a lot of sense. I think Jupiter is about to go into Leo. It's usually the planet of good luck.
Well,
not to be just so random, but you were talking about, we started feeling better about content, and that just sparked that of I feel fucking fantastic.
Yeah. I'm pretty tired today, but that's just because we did a lot yesterday. And I feel like that was the first day in a while where we were able to accomplish pretty much everything. Yeah. And it didn't feel exhausting to do.
It's we have to re-up the stamina to do things again.
Yeah. But our dog also woke us up
She needed
earlier
to lick
than normal.
her butt for 20 minutes at 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, she decided that she needed to clean her ass and not stop, and it woke both of us up. So then I canceled the alarms that were going to go off in like 30 minutes, and we slept in a bit because I was way too tired.
It was like, didn't feel good, sick, tired.
Yeah. And then if you're watching on YouTube, you might notice that Em and I are wearing matching shirts. It was not planned.
We didn't mean to do that.
It was not a planned thing.
But
I put mine on first for the record and then walked out of the bedroom, and then she came out and I was like, "Oh, you just want to match me. You just want to be cool." I
always fucking do want to match you. But for one, go to the Stark Saloon. But also, you should go watch our video at the Stark Saloon.
Yeah.
I'll link it somewhere maybe.
But
yeah, I did not realize until I walked out because I didn't like see what you were wearing before I left before you left because I was letting the dog out.
Yeah.
So surprise, I came out and we looked the same and we still look the same because I like matching you.
I thought about changing, but I was like, no, I feel like
funny.
I need to commit to the bit.
It's too funny.
It's too perfect. And I feel like that just explains us perfectly. But if you listen to the last podcast, we started kind of getting into signs and symbols and talking about our thoughts and opinions about that. So today we thought about doing a full dedicated podcast talking about like signs and symbols and our viewpoints of them, all of that.
Yeah, people get a little bit overzealous about signs and symbols as they do everything else in spirituality. So we're going to talk about the like, when does it actually mean something and when does it not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in the last podcast we were talking about like people take them to the extreme of like, if a psychic tells you that you're going to meet the love of your life while wearing red shoes, you just wear red shoes every single day.
Yeah.
Or if you see angel numbers, you constantly are just evaluating angel numbers after angel numbers. Or my sign and symbol is rainbows. A lot of people know that. It's unusable unless it is found in a very niche way during the month of June for Pride Month. So it's kind of like that, like trying to figure out your discernment.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of talked about it in the last episode, but I struggle with like what I would say is the mainstream like view and use of signs and symbols. Because
what to you? What is that?
Well, I feel like so many people use like signs and symbols and like overuse them in like they have like a sign and symbol for every single like thing imaginable. So it's like, this means good luck, this means bad luck, this means it's gonna rain tomorrow, this means I'm gonna get a new job, like all these like very like niche and like like very like exact symbolism between them.
It's like angel numbers, you like look it up and like fives are like instability, so it has like a very specific like meaning to it, and each one of those signs has a very specific meaning. That's kind of an example of what you're talking about, I feel.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily bad to have like signs that have like set meanings for things. Like I don't think that's a bad thing. But I think how some people use them, I feel like they over-assign and overcomplicate the idea of signs and symbols.
Yeah. Where they think everything is a sign and symbol.
Yeah, or if they like, I've seen people who don't have something as a sign and symbol, but then they come across something and they're like, well, is this a sign and symbol? What does this mean? Well, this has to mean something. And I feel like it just, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if I'm like shitting on people who do this, but I feel like it's trying to like use spirituality or this like divine message to like give an like
replace your critical thinking skills.
And so many times things are just more mundane than people, I feel like, tend to think when it gets into like the spiritual niche, you know, like
I would say like an example would be like like if your sign and symbol is like some sort of bird or something, and you just like continuously see them like as roadkill on the side of the road, like eventually that is going to happen. It doesn't mean that it's a bad sign.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's stuff like that.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know. There's so many people bring up, like, if they see, like, dead animals, that's such, like, a negative omen for some people. And, like, I understand where that thought comes from. But, like, where we are, there's roadkill on the sides of the roads pretty commonly.
Yeah.
Like, deer, raccoons, squirrels, whatever. If that's like a sign and symbol, you're gonna be like,
you're gonna have a hard day if
Yeah.
your sign and symbol is a squirrel.
yeah. So I think that there has to be like a level of nuance when
Yeah.
it comes to like signs and symbols, believing like in them. I don't know.
Yeah, you need like discernment. And you can't like, you need to use your critical thinking skills a lot of the times. Because a lot of times when we get signs and symbols, we try our hardest to like invalidate the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
So like in the last one, I explained one of the signs and symbols that is still fucking the craziest thing to me, where we were basically, we went on a trip to go to my friend's wedding.
Oh yeah.
And she wanted I was in her wedding, so all of the bridal party basically went to go get their nails done at a nail salon. And I brought Ryker there because what is Ryker gonna do? I wanted to make sure that Ryker had someone to hang out with. They don't know anyone there.
Because also, like, this was also the first time I had flown in to meet you.
Yeah. I was
So,
like, you want to come to a wedding with me? I was invited, and now things changed, and now I want to bring a +1 still because I kind of don't really know anyone either.
Yeah, so that was like the first week of us being together, like in person, meeting in person. But sorry, I think it's also funny that it happened.
Yeah, that kind of also makes it worse, or like more significant, I guess you could say. But we were inside this nail salon getting our nails done, and one of my like known signs and symbols, one that I created myself, is dragonflies. And a lot of times dragonflies in my life are used to like signal rebirth, because dragonflies are kind of like butterflies in the sense of they start as a larva type thing in the water, and then they like come out of the water and they have big pretty wings. So dragonflies, a fucking dragonfly landed on Ryker inside of this building. So how often does that happen to you? One, that something lands on you, and two, that it's inside of a building.
It also didn't want to leave my arm.
And the dude I don't know who was painting your nails. They did not notice. They did not, like, there was no care in the world that there was a fucking, like, dragonfly
just
on your arm.
sitting on my
they were
arm
focused.
right here.
And it was on your death card arm, too.
Yeah, because
Which I don't know if that's significant, but...
This is, I say it every time, but this tattoo is the death card from my very first tarot deck, because it had a lot of significance for me, and the death card is also associated to Scorpio.
So that's the sign for Scorpio.
So you can't really see, you can see it better on this camera, but there's a sign for Scorpio because I'm also a Scorpio. So
yeah.
Anyways.
So while that was happening, they had a TV playing, and on the TV they started talking about like home refinance. And that was a period of time where I was like fighting with the loan companies trying to figure out if I can keep my house. And that's because I just broke up with my ex-boyfriend. And because I was self-employed, I kept getting like denied from loan companies, because basically what I explained in the last one is how you get a loan for like getting a house or something. You need to have 2 tax returns. So 2 years of business that they qualify as making enough money that you can prove your income. Well, the 2 years, I was in business for 2 years, but the first year, it was not my full-time income. My full-time income was like a corporate job. So they used my income solely from my business that was not supporting me. And then the next year, which I went full-time with that business the year following. So they denied me because I didn't make enough money in my first year of business.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, do I even like try to do this? Do I just like sell it and like go find another place to live? Am I ever going to find a house again? Because like I would need 2 years of sustained income as self-employed. So like getting that sign and symbol was like, no, you should try to do it. Like very specifically, very weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Even like that same trip, we were planning. That's when we were like planning and figuring out how we wanted to create and make those meddling mediums. And at the time this was before the Cody and Satori thing happened.
Yes.
But Sam and Colby were teasing that Hell Week featuring Cody and Satori. And we're like making it seem like it was like hyping it up, getting people excited.
They said it was gonna change the entire like environment of the paranormal. Like the paranormal is gonna be changed forever.
Which it was to an extent.
It was true.
Not how people thought, but it was. But we were talking about like, you know, we should like do like a reaction video to like that, to like their video.
We were talking about like strategy wise of like what are we gonna do for this new channel to make it like successful, because it's new. It was supposed to be like solely a like ghost hunting team.
Yeah.
And that's very expensive, so it's hard to do that, especially if you are also working.
I mean, everyone had full-time, like,
minus me, but I also had,
but you still were
working several businesses.
This was originally like a side project.
Yeah, it was a side quest
that was like being built and worked on. So we were trying to figure out how we could like stretch content and like what to do about it, and we wanted to do a reaction video to Sam and Colby stuff, because we were going to start in October. That's when they were doing their Hell Week or month, whatever. And as we were discussing it on the freeway, a car like cut in front of us was behind us, cut in front of us, and their license plate said Colby on it. So
yeah, and literally after that, that's when we came up with a plan of like how to stretch content per month. So we would go to one location, we would have a full investigation, and then we would do a bonus investigation, and then we would do a reaction video of that location, and then we did a vlog, and that's how we were able to stretch content, so we didn't have to go to as many locations because of how our lifestyle was.
Yeah, but then like us reacting to that first video,
oh my god,
from like Sam and Colby of like Cody and Satori's knocking method, like we had like 200 subscribers.
Yeah, no, I looked back at it. We had to take it down, but like we looked back at it. We had 200 subscribers because I mentioned it at the beginning of the live stream. I was like, we have 200 subscribers and there are 600 people.
Because we did a live stream on Halloween and we had 600 viewers because we were also doing like a live reaction.
Concurrent, like at one time. 600. We had 200 subscribers. I have never had a live stream that big in my life.
But that video like blew up and it got like 200,000 something views before we had to take it down, and it got our channel monetized within a month.
Yeah.
So
we were monetized within 1 month on that new channel.
Yeah. So like to me that was like a sign and symbol to be like, yes, you're thinking about, you're doing the right thing. This is what you should be doing. Versus like using signs and symbols to fully dictate and like make the decision for you, if that makes sense.
But it's also crazy looking back at it now, because I'm like, holy shit, that video was probably one of the most pivotal pieces of content in my life, and people don't even know what that means. Because like, yes, you could say it monetized our YouTube channel, but like it kind of flipped a death card over everything in our lives.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like what I was saying.
Yeah.
You got really, really successful, and then promptly a few months after, your entire life falls apart.
Yeah. So like, you guys know, we've talked about it a lot in like past podcasts and live streams, videos, but like since then it kind of went down. But mostly it was telling that story because that's how I feel like signs and symbols are the most like, I guess, like, useful, significant. Because, like, if you're just like, oh, every time I see a bunny, it means, like, someone's, like, following me.
Yeah.
But you live in an area where there's bunnies everywhere. You can, like, then every time you see a bunny, you're gonna, like, become paranoid. Like, there's levels of things, in my opinion, that needs to, like, happen. This is my personal belief, again. I don't necessarily take a sign and symbol that, like, is appearing just, like, solely on its own as, like, a full concrete thing until other things start happening around it. And maybe that's just because I'm overly, like, skeptical and critical of it, but a lot of my getting into, like, signs and symbols started in, like, 2022 into 2023, like, getting into when I was meeting you.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who watches a lot of, like, spiritual content on like YouTube or TikTok, especially TikTok. I stay away from it. But after like, I would talk about signs and symbols with, like, a friend, and then my, like, TikTok algorithm would start like
it starts giving it to you. Or if your phone listens to you.
Yeah. So so I've always been, like, even more critical of signs and symbols that are coming through a social media platform and an algorithm, because algorithms are designed
to give
you that. So, like, rainbows.
Yep.
Like, and I don't even think that, like, you can't look at social media, like, signs and symbols as, like, you don't have to, like, exclude them altogether. But, like, I've had times where I've gotten, like, a reading on TikTok, like, someone pops up and it feels very specific, and I watch it and I'm like, wow, that felt like like, I felt like I did need this message at this time. And then the algorithm's like, oh, well, you watched this, so now I'm gonna push all of these readings that are giving you the same message. And at that point, it's no longer, like, the universe, it's an algorithm pushing it. So
yeah, it's kind of like the when you buy a car, you start seeing that car everywhere kind of mentality. When you make signs and symbols, you have to be aware of your own bias now to that sign and symbol. Because I am 100% one of those people that make signs and symbols for a lot of things, because that's how, when I first became a medium, that's how I talked to spirit, and that's what I tell people to do as well, because it just helps with validation of things. So I have a lot of different, like, signs and symbols for things. So, like, bones, dragonflies, centipedes, rainbows.
But
you know what I mean?
I guess I feel like
I don't think every time I get those things that it is a message from the other side.
And I don't feel like you are, like, going out of your way to seek out those signs and symbols, because that's also what I've seen people do and talk about, is, like,
they stretch it.
Yeah, like, looking like, for, they're like, oh, like, well, if I see, like, 555 somewhere, that's gonna mean something. So then you're starting to notice when it's 555 on the clock every day.
Yeah.
Or, like,
but that happens every day.
Yeah. So it's angel numbers are ones that I'm, like, getting more of the ick for.
Yeah, because everyone's like, it could be any number. It doesn't even have to be repeated.
Yeah, it could be, like,
57.5.
57.5823.
Yeah, and it could be 314. I don't know the rest of pi.
3.14159.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Autism, which I have to do, like, a side tangent back to the dragonflies, because when you're talking about it, I needed to share my autistic fact that I learned.
About what?
Dragonflies are apex predators.
What do you mean?
They'll like eat wasps and, like, stuff. Yeah. So if you hang, like, fake dragonflies around your house, it'll keep, like, wasps and bees away, because they're predators. Anyways,
there's a TikTok that I saw that there's people riding horses, and they have these, like, sticks coming out of them that have a little dragonfly that float above them, because it keeps the flies away.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, because they're big. They're big, and they eat everything.
Yeah.
I love them. When I was little, I used to like carry them around. You're welcome. I used to go to Canada every year with my family, and they would go into the water, and I would take them out of the water, and they would sit on my finger until they dried off.
Yeah, I associate dragonflies with you, and like it's a sign and symbol of like our relationship, because it became more prevalent for me with our past lives of Becca and Sebastian.
Yeah, because in the field we would see dragonflies everywhere.
So that is a sign and symbol. But every time I see one, it's not a like.
No.
It's not like a crazy omen. I more see it. I'm just like, oh, like yay,
cute.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like some people just seek them out and overanalyze things. And then if like they ask for signs and symbols, but they show up in a way that they don't like.
Yeah.
Or like it goes against what they want to happen, then they like try to like force. I feel like I'm struggling.
They're like trying to seek out signs and symbols to validate something that's going on in their head, whether it is an insecurity or something that they want to do. Yeah. So like if they are looking for, I don't know, what do I do about my job? Send me like certain things. And they like go to like, for example, like maybe it's like hearts, and they just start going on their computer and trying to find the sign and symbol so that they can have validation to like quit their job.
Yeah.
Whereas in the situations that we're talking about, we never even asked for a sign and symbol. It was just guidance of maybe you should think about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like more of my signs and symbols are things that when they come up, it's like in a very niche way. It's not something that can just like easily happen.
Yeah, I would say it's very dysphoric for me when I get like existential crisis when I get signs and symbols.
Because like we've gotten some that are like crazy.
Yeah.
Because like one of the signs and symbols we have, we call him the mystery man. And I'm not going to say what else we call him because, again, we don't want to dilute that.
Yeah, and it's like a pop things about him to us.
Culture reference.
Oh, it is so weird when we see him.
But like it's happened at like, and he's.
It will be like we are in a situation like talking to someone, and Ryker will be just like scrolling through Twitter and then just stop because then we're like focused into the conversation, and I just fucking look at their computer, and
it's a picture.
He will be there.
And it's a picture of,
and there's a message
this
on it.
Man that's like, this is your last chance. Like,
yeah, a message that literally
was like very relevant to what was happening in that very moment.
Yeah, it was literally like, continue like standing up for yourself. Do it.
Yeah, and
it was so random.
And like but he's also like a like spirit being that like we physically see him. So it's like.
Like, there are times where I'll, like, turn around and there'll be, like, someone standing by our front door when I'm outside.
Yeah.
And then, like, all of a sudden. And then it, like jump scares you. Like, you're about to run into someone that you didn't know was there.
Yeah. But so, like, those, like, sign symbol messages, they're very, like, intrusive in your face, too. Mm-hmm. Because, like, if it's something where I easily could not like notice it if I wasn't actively looking for it, then to me, is that really a sign and symbol? Or for me, it has to be very like in your face. This is what it.
Yeah, it's like when this is completely different. We talked about this yesterday in our live stream of when Lilith comes in and helps us with dream type things. She has to like be very clear and be like, you need to pay attention to your dream right now. This is the answer to your question. But basically, we would ask Lilith, can you tell me things about this before we went to sleep? And then she would show us in a dream form the answer. But I'm so bad at dreaming that the second my eyes open, the dream is completely gone. So it was almost like I need to be like in a state of like lucid dreaming to be able to be conscious enough to be like, this is dealing with something else. And that's kind of the same like dysphoric feeling that I'm talking about when I get signs and symbols of like, who did that? Why is this happening?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I'm not living a life as a human being and instead I'm a doll?
Yeah, because, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I just get annoyed when I, like, listen to people, like, talk about their signs and symbols in a, like, trivial way. And, like, I don't know. It's not even that I care that, like, people have signs and symbols or, like, you know, if, like, doing things a certain way fits for you, like, works for you, then, like, cool. Like, I'm not trying to harsh anyone's vibe or anything.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I feel like, too, most of my, like, issues is how, like, influencers or people who are, like, teaching people about signs and symbols, like, I feel like they treat it as kind of like a simple, like, solution,
like you
for
can
people's
teach someone about it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, like, signs and symbols, and you just know this, like, and then you just know. So then, I don't know, like,
yeah, they talk about it like it's just a simple thing of like, if you just make up a sign or symbol, like your sign and symbol is like the outline of a heart or something. And it's just, that's it. And you see that's validation. You can ask questions to the universe and they'll just give you that sign. But it's so much more complex than that in my experience.
Well, I feel like part of the issue too is I feel like a lot of people, when, like, trying to, like, teach, like, an audience about signs and symbols, they, like, make it seem like if you're not getting your signs and symbols frequently, that you're failing or doing something wrong, or you're not open to receiving the messages.
Well, that can also go into a lot of like, oh, so-and-so passed away and they haven't given me any signs they're okay, so there must be something wrong with me, or they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah. So it's, like, kind of a, like, because I don't know, like, there's, like, someone that, like, I spoke to in the past didn't have, like, they saw like a dead bird on the side of the road, like, away from their car, and they're like, that's not a sign and symbol for me, but maybe, like, it should, like, does that actually mean something? Is it something? And I was like, I think it's just a dead bird. Like, animals sometimes just die.
Yeah.
It's not like
well, it's a lot of times people come to us as the mediums and be like, well, what does this mean? It seems like it could be a sign. But if it's a sign and symbol for you, you would know immediately.
Yeah. So, 'cause I know we were watching this documentary.
Yeah.
About, it's called Surviving Death, and they talk about, like, near-death experiences, mediums, whatever. It's on Netflix. You can watch it. We talked about it a lot in our live stream yesterday. But one of the episodes was like messages from the dead, or like signs from the dead, signs and symbols, kind of.
Right.
And, like, one family, like, their mom or sister, one of their loved ones was passing, and they were like, we live in California, we don't have cardinals, but when you go, to let me know that you're okay, like, send me a cardinal.
Yeah.
And then the next day, a cardinal, like, flew into their window.
Yeah. And, like, they tried to let it go free, and it did
flew
not
back
leave.
and, like, landed back on the woman's. So, like, that was a sign. Like,
that's like a crazy thing.
Yeah.
That's like
so
a
they were like, oh my gosh.
thing.
But then there was another couple who tragically lost their son, like, as a child, and were trying to get signs and symbols or messages, but they are very, like, analytical, scientific about things. So they're like, well, if I if I see something in my mind that is associated, that's not actually a sign and symbol from them. So it's like,
so other people in their lives are basically like, well, you're just not open enough to receive signs and symbols from your loved one, even though they wanted one.
Yeah, and I don't
and that's problematic.
Yeah. And to me, if I am like, okay, this sign and symbol means like this, like, I don't know, like one of my signs and symbols is bats, and it's typically not like, it's not like a complete like this day like everything is awful, but it's like it's not a great day.
It's a negative sign.
It's a more negative one.
Yeah.
So bats, if I don't see any bats, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Or like even if it's like a good sign and symbol, like rainbows. I'm gonna use yours, rainbows. Like if you don't see a rainbow that day, it doesn't automatically mean that good things aren't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like
it's like if you ask the question of like, should I quit my job? Give me rainbows for yes and bones for no. And you see neither. It doesn't mean that you should just quit your job because you didn't see it. You know what I mean? It's not a like, if you don't, then you're like fucked.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, in my opinion, use signs and symbols as a way to like make decisions for them and like dictate how they need to go about their life, and like expect like spirit or whatever to like tell them exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And to me, that is like not why like you are here living as a human being on the earth right now.
Yeah.
It
replaces your like free will.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
So that you can't make a decision without like some sort of divine meant message or something, you know? So that's where I think it becomes problematic.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just get annoyed. And I'm also tired, so I'm a little bit more bitchy today and a little bit of an asshole, but I really don't care.
Well, I also have questions for you of like legitimate signs and symbols. How do you think they like happen? That's probably a very loaded question because I feel like that can happen a lot of times, but like, are spirits making them happen? Do you just remember things?
I think it can be everything and nothing, which maybe isn't the like.
Yeah.
I don't. If you see a sign and symbol, I don't necessarily think automatically that it's like spirit giving it to you.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a way of more like checking your own intuition rather than like full-blown communication.
Yeah, but I also like question that because of what happened at Whispers It States.
Yeah, well, I think that they're like, that's why I was like, I think.
But maybe they were just being used for, I don't know. Wait, they're like telling me about it. Sorry, I have to form it into words.
No, it's okay. I'm here. I'm sat.
There's a woman telling me. Okay, she's one of my spirit guides. But she's talking about how it's not necessarily any one thing that is doing it, is the universe itself. So it's kind of, she is using like symptoms that you get from your body to explain the universe. So like the universe is very similar to a body because it is a collective of cells. So the universe is a collective of souls, or a collective of energy cells. So she's like, when the body is sick, there are usually some signs or symptoms that are being shown through various means. So it's like the universe is doing it in a similar way. I'm not saying just because it's like sick or whatever, but that's just an example
I
of
understand
a
what you're
sign
saying.
and symbol that can be like manifested through a collective. So it's like the collective energy that is quote unquote spirit is like manifesting and turning around you to give you the sign and symbol that you're looking for, or that you need for guidance.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of what I was like feeling when I said like it's everything and nothing.
Yeah.
Because like
because it can be like a physical person talking and telling you, or it could be a soul, or it can be a cloud. You know?
Yeah, and like they're like
manifestation. It's literally attracting that sign and symbol to you.
Yeah, and I feel like going back to discernment, I feel like discernment is what makes it like it helps you differentiate whether it's just like collective kind of like aligning you with things versus like a direct spirit or spirit guide or whatever is like I am specifically like giving you this message.
Yeah.
Cuz like we get like signs and symbols as like messages from spirit and stuff. But it's not, I feel like it's just more convoluted. It's not as like black and white of like that people think.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, signs and symbols, in my opinion, cannot infringe upon your free will. So you cannot use them to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you're trying to make a decision, you have to make the decision. The universe is not going to tell you what to do because that is infringing upon your free will.
Yeah, that's why I think, in my opinion, most of the time when people are talking about signs and symbols, I think they should be using it in more of a like trusting their gut intuition about things. But I feel like most of the time people tend to kind of lean more towards this is a specific message from spirit, but I don't know what it means. And I'm like, if you don't know what the sign and symbol means, then I don't think that is a sign and symbol.
Or it's not important for you yet.
Yeah, or it's...
Yeah, because like the signs and symbols that we've mentioned so far, a lot of them, we already made our decision. The universe was just making us second guess those decisions or overthink it.
Yeah.
So when we got those signs and symbols, it was just confirmation of, no, you're right. Don't listen to like so-and-so trying to shit on your parade, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that is more how I like using signs and symbols of just like, I don't know, it's the same as, to me, it's the same as when we do the like, is this true?
Yeah.
Of like, I'm using you to kind of like
test your intuition.
Test my intuition. And even if you give me an answer that is the like, if you give me a no, but I feel like it's a yes, that's still, it's not necessarily that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's more so just I'm checking to figure out what I think about it.
Yeah, because a lot of times when I ask you is this true, and if you don't know what we're talking about, because we haven't talked about it in a while, we
don't do it a lot
we
anymore,
don't do it
really.
anymore. But we used to ask each other, is this true? And we started doing that because we started using Ouija boards. So we would ask each other with a Ouija board, is this true? Instead of like giving you biased of what the question is.
Yeah. So the other person was using their intuition to like decide if it was like a yes, no, or the
it didn't give you bias of where the like planchette was going to move on the Ouija board.
Yeah.
So eventually we decided, why the fuck do we have a Ouija board? We can just do this. So we just started asking each other, is this true? So when I ask you those questions, it's basically like I am asking, and if whatever answer you give me feels right, then I'll listen to your answer. But if my answer still feels right, then it's my answer.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to get it outside of my own bias and overthinking head.
Because a lot of our community, a lot of you guys have kind of adopted the like, is this true? And I don't want to like...
We just want you to know
where it
comes from and how we use it, because we don't want you to like invalidate your own intuition.
Yeah, it's like if you think that like your cat saw someone like in your living room, but you're like, to me, I use it when I intuitively know the answer is something, but my ego then gets in the way to try to be like, no, it can't be that.
Yeah.
So then that is me being like, is this true?
And then if it doesn't really matter what my answer is.
Yeah, it's
if
not...
it still feels like, if your intuition is still doing that prickly thing,
Yeah.
You know that in your gut, whatever it was right.
Yeah,
even if I deny it.
Because, again, I am not trying to be rude to anyone in our community who does it. Is this true? I think it's a great thing.
Did it.
We did it.
We were the one who made
we
it.
started this trend. But I worry that people are asking us, is this true? And, like,
taking
are
our
solely
word for law.
Yeah, and, like, if they disagree with what we're saying, well, they're like, well, then I'm wrong and Em and Ryker are right. And I'm like, no.
We're not on a pedestal. Don't put us on a pedestal. We're just people.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. It's like, it's not, it's not a, like a, like, scientific for sure thing. It's just a, like.
It's like a pendulum.
Yeah.
A lot of people think spirit is moving the pendulum, but again, it is spirit manipulating you. You are the energy touching the pendulum. It's checking your own intuition.
Yeah, because honestly, most of the time I use it now is when we're trying to decide what to eat and we can't, or like what show to watch.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like one or two. And then the other person will say one. And then it's like, okay, this was this. But if you pick like one and I'm like, well, now I actually want two, then I'll be like, I'll switch them.
Yes. So it helps check your intuition.
Yeah. So like, I'm not saying that you guys can't do it, but don't worry about like the answer.
Your intuition is the thing that's important. It's the same thing with getting like signs and symbols.
Yeah.
You're still going to have a bias to it and stuff like that because you already made a decision.
Yeah.
So you don't need a sign and symbol 90% of the time because you already made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they were telling me in regards to what we were talking about before of like the universe literally like bends around you because there's like neurologists that talk about manifestation and there's like different like experiments that they've done with manifestation where they like observed this weird thing happening where it's like reality bends around certain people's like belief systems. And it's literally basic neurology. And that's kind of the same thing that happens when you get sign and symbols. It's manifestation out of thin air for you to do certain things because you are aligning with such things. So that's how they showed me it. They showed me a point of reference, so like a perspective, and then the universe like weirdly bending around you to give you the sign and symbol that you need to continue moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I get so, like, annoyed. But honestly, I feel like lately I've just been getting annoyed with, like, other people's spirituality.
Yeah, because
practices.
I have had signs and symbols that have fully come true. Actually, both of us have had signs and symbols that fully come true that we told other people, and other people are annoyed by us.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we get our signs and symbols from like Richard, and people are like, "Well, I guess Richard is wrong," and we're just like sitting there quiet, thinking of like, Richard told us that we would be in this exact situation, but we just didn't tell you because
he told us that
we didn't want to be in this situation.
He told us you would say exactly what you just said to a T.
But we're not going to tell you because this situation is weird and dysphoric and horrible. Yeah. No, it happens all the time. Like, it's just... And the reason is because a lot of times when we get signs and symbols, I can't talk about for anyone else. I don't know how it is for other people, but like... When we get signs and symbols, when we tell other people, it doesn't seem as big as it is because they didn't experience it.
Yeah, well, and they also don't have all of
all the
information going into it because, like you said, they didn't experience it. So, like...
That's why you can't go to, like, us and be like, is this a sign and symbol? Because, like, all of your life experience leading up to that point and everything going on is going to make that sign and symbol aligned for you specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, there are mediums that could give you, like, it's this, but it's still a sign and symbol for you, and who's to say the medium isn't just being manipulated in the same way to give you your sign and symbol again?
Yeah, I think signs and symbols are a great way to, like, when starting out on things, like, test your intuition, check, like, it's kind of like an easy way to, like, practice mediumship, spirituality, whatever, in a more, like, simple way.
Yeah.
But I don't think that so much weight should be, like, put on every single thing unless they're, like, fully slapping you across the face and, like, this is the sign, bitch, like.
Which we get a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah, and again, a lot of this, our thoughts about it are also because of how we are as people.
Yeah.
Where, like, spirit can be like, this exact thing is gonna happen. And we're like, no, it's not. Fuck you. We're not gonna listen to you. And then, like, 2 weeks later, it happens. And they're like,
See?
I fucking told you. So that's also more likely why our signs and symbols
are slaps in the face,
because
we're like, no, we're not mediums. Ghosts aren't real.
Yeah, and then a car crash happened.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, no, literally, I was told it would be really weird if your sign and symbol for a car accident happened at this trip when you're going to have one of the biggest collabs for the channel because it's going to be a debunker and a psychic medium. Go watch the last podcast. So I had the thought, I was told, I didn't believe it. And then it happened. And then I got out of the car and was like, I knew this was going to happen today. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to freak you out.
Yeah, no, you made the right decision. Not telling me. Because if you told me that, I'd be like, well, then we're just going to turn around and cancel. Like,
yeah, but
then why are we going?
Also, no way for me to fully know that was truly going to happen.
No,
but it didn't,
I know.
As a sign and symbol, it also didn't matter. It was going to happen regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the ones that are more slap in the face, like that dragonfly situation, we needed to, like, listen to our guts. So we got slapped in the face with the sign and symbol.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like also most of our signs and symbols are never just like isolated away from anything else. Like the dragonfly happened at the same time that the TV in that nail salon was talking about refinancing homes.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't have listened to that unless a dragonfly landed on you.
So
it was literally.
I feel like you could also use signs and symbols, like in that case, the dragonfly was kind of like, okay, maybe we need to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah,
and even if that TV didn't say anything, just being like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more aware to see if there's anything else, and if nothing else happens, then okay, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
You know, like I don't know. I don't feel like it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like, I don't know what the right word is, because it does really bother me that people are like so weird about signs and symbols, and then there are people that are like looking for signs and symbols when their past loved one dies and they're not getting them, and people just go in and tell them, well, there's something wrong with you, and that's the reason why you're not getting a sign and symbol. Like, you're not open enough. You're doing it wrong. And that's kind of like where my issues stem. You're not doing anything wrong if you're not getting a sign and symbol. You're just not like everyone else. You're just not like these people that want signs and symbols. A sign and symbol is not going to mean the same thing to you than it does everyone else, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's also kind of where my issue is with that, and then people being like, oh, well, if I want to see, like, I don't know, a hummingbird, but I never see a hummingbird, then I must just not be open. Like, I ask my spirit guides for these signs, and I'm not getting them, so...
Or I, like, don't have permission to do whatever my question was.
Yeah, because I feel like most of the time that I've heard people talking about their signs and symbols has been in relation to trying to start communication with their spirit guides.
Yeah.
And so when they don't get them in that specific way, they're like, well, I'm not open. I can't do it. There's nothing I can do to like connect. And I've seen lots of people like go through spirituality and like, I don't know, like try every single thing, every like type of like practice, religion, like technique, whatever, to try to like
open your third eye.
But then it never happens. And they're like, well, maybe it's just something wrong with me. And I'm like, I think you're putting too much pressure on yourself. And I don't think that's entirely how things work. What works for me isn't going to automatically work for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you're not open, because I am a firm believer that everyone is a medium. And the reason why everyone is a medium is because everyone is open. You just don't realize how you are open, like how information comes in for you, because it is so normal. Because people like think mediums are like supernatural and have gifts, and no, they don't. Like, that's the reason why most people don't realize that they can talk to their past loved ones, is because they're expecting something oddly supernatural to happen. And most of the time, that's not the case. It's something that regularly happens to you because you regularly are talking to spirit. You just don't realize it because the media has portrayed it as it must be something supernatural. So you don't acknowledge it in the same way. It's just, oh, it's just a regular Tuesday. Obviously, I'm getting this information because I always do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not paranormal. It's not from spirit. It's just, I just pick up things. I just observe things. So people think that heading signs and symbols are the same thing of like, it's supernatural. So it must be some sort of supernatural thing that happens, when a lot of times it's not, and it shouldn't like determine if you're like good at this or not, or open or whatever, you know?
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way of like doing spirituality, which I know like might seem weird because I'm like telling people that I don't like how they do signs and symbols.
Well, you're telling people not to do signs and symbols like everyone else.
Yeah.
You need to do them like you do. Uniquely.
Yeah. Because, like, you have more, like, assigned signs and symbols than I do.
Yeah. I would say I have what you're talking about of this means this means that, because that's just how my brain works.
Yeah. I have some, but I don't tell people about them.
I tell everyone.
Part of why I don't is because I was going to, like, have raccoons be a negative sign and symbol because of what happened at Fairfield the one time, which if you don't know,
Go watch our Fairfield video. I'll put it somewhere for you to watch.
We were, like, locked in the building with a raccoon, and I'm terrified of, like, being locked in with, like, a wild animal, and it was scared, and so it was just... But then, like, a few weeks later, we had a raccoon in our attic.
That was a good time.
So, like, I was, like, joking about making, like, raccoons a sign and symbol.
Yeah.
And then, like, one of our, like, friends or people we know started, like, sending me Instagram reels of raccoons all the time.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, well, like, it's your sign and symbol, and I'm seeing it. I'm like... You're seeing my sign and symbol. So, like, you're forcing it. So now it has no meaning to me. Yeah,
because a lot of times with that, too, it's like, if you are meant to give me that sign and symbol, you would not, because it's your, like, it's not your responsibility to give it to me. Yeah, the universe would just make it happen.
Yeah, because, like, centipedes for you are, like, a negative sign and symbol. I see centipedes a lot more than I tell you about.
Yeah.
Because some days, like, I think the other day, like, you were, like, taking a bath, like, sitting in the bathtub, and I, like, on my phone saw something about a centipede. There's nothing happening that day or that was, like, this negative thing. So, and it holds more weight for you
it's
than
my
it does for me.
I fucking hate centipedes. But yeah, every time I see centipedes, it also doesn't mean anything to me either.
Yeah, because, like, I would say, like, the most significant times that centipedes mean something is when we're at haunted locations. We've seen them in, like, areas, and if we try to investigate in, like, that room or area,
something goes horribly wrong.
Something, like, goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. Like, we were at Ashmore Estates. I'll link it below. Oh, wait, I can't, but I'll link a different one below.
The first time we were at Ashmore Estates.
The first time we were at Ashmore Estates, unfortunately, I can't tell you. Well, I can't give it to you, but I can tell you about it. We went to Ashmore Estates. It was on Friday the 13th, and we were going to do a Friday the 13th live stream at a haunted location. And while we were setting up, I saw this fucking nasty centipede. It was like 3 inches long or something. So I don't remember how I told people that centipedes were my, like, negative sign and symbol, but I told people about it. And then during that live stream, because we set up anyways, because I was like, fucking whatever, I just hate them. And that live stream, we tried to do it, had such horrible network issues that we ended up stopping. And when we went back to look at the live stream, it cut out a chunk in the middle of the live stream. Not the, like, beginning or end, like, a chunk in the middle. And it was just gone and corrupted. But the video was still there, partially.
Yeah. Or, like, there was one time upstairs in our kitchen, we were doing, like, witchcraft and a spell, and a giant centipede started running towards us in the kitchen. And, like, we have pest control. We don't get centipedes like that in our house.
It's
like,
also,
it's not...
You guys know, I guess this is not, like, for everyone. But, like, in the place that we live on the earth, we usually get the, like, little red ones. But the one that we got that day, I don't know if it's actually a centipede or not, but it's the one with the huge fucking legs that, like, go up over its body that are, those ones are, like, 2-3 inches long. Those are the ones that you see at fucking haunted locations.
Yeah.
I have never seen one, like, in our area before, but we found one in our fucking house, and it was literally crawling around. We have this red cup that I call the bug cup. I put it underneath that. And then we promptly went on vacation the next day.
Yeah, because that's when we were going to Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, it was Chicago?
Yeah, that's
because I just remember leaving
Yeah.
the cup with the centipede because I solved my problems with bugs by putting them under cups and leaving them there.
But yeah, because I think the next day is when we were driving to Chicago to visit Erica and Kayla.
Yeah.
And we're on Chicago Med.
And we were going to Ashmore States. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, like, I just remembered the reason why I'm telling the story is because I remember coming back and the cup was, like, my parents were watching our animals and the cup was, like, put back on our counter in the kitchen. And I was like, I wonder if they found the centipede underneath.
Because we didn't tell them.
Because otherwise it's loose in the house.
Like a horse loose in the hospital. But
anyways,
but when that
we were doing
centipede
witchcraft
showed up,
yeah,
it was very much you're doing this wrong.
You need to do something else.
We like stopped and consulted and we're like, what do we do? And then we figured out what we were doing wrong and we fixed it and then everything was great. Which I was actually thinking about that, like this whole situation recently.
Centipede situation.
The spell we were doing.
Okay, yeah.
And I also feel like that centipede has an additional meaning now that I'll tell you later.
I'm going to remember this conversation, so I ask you.
I'll tell you right after we cut this before we go into
I hate centipedes.
The other one.
Yeah.
But
I do like talking about our signs and symbols, the ones that we've gotten, because I think they're hilarious. And I also think they're, like, fucking insane.
Yeah. I mean...
Because, like, we were getting signs and symbols that because we were talking about that Chicago trip.
Oh, yeah.
we had this weird vision. I don't even know if it was a sign and symbol, but we literally had this premonition that we were going to go to this big city and we're going to meet an executive producer and we were going to be on a TV show that was like somehow like unrelated to something, and that was going to lead to like bigger things. And that fucking happened. The sign and symbol, I think, was like a license plate that like switched.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe the Conjuring house.
Well, there's also one of the times, I can't remember if it was when we were driving, but there was the one time where there was like a car driving by us that had like a red bike on the back of it, and then we passed.
Those are like times things.
Yeah, but that's
yeah.
But I don't. But yeah. I don't. We don't have time to get into time things because
we should definitely do a podcast on time switches, like timeline switches. Because what Ryker's talking about is we're on this like we were driving to go to an investigation, and there was this car that had like a bike rack on the back of the car, and it like drove up in front of me, and there were like 2 bikes on it or whatever. And then it like slowly like we passed it, and then it came back up like maybe 15 minutes later. And the bikes were gone.
Yeah, and it was like the same car, same license plates.
And I like remember it to a T because I remember just like staring at this car for like several miles, and I read its license plate. I like looked at the whatever because I was like making comments about the car itself because it was like weird square.
When we were driving back from the Conjuring house?
I think so. A lot of weird shit happens when we go to the Conjuring house.
I feel like that was the Conjuring house, because
we were driving back from New England. I remember.
Yeah, and I don't think that that didn't happen. When we were coming back from your friend's wedding, that it wasn't then. So I think it was coming back from the Conjuring house.
But it was the same car, same license plate. It literally went like out of sight behind us, and then came back and passed us again. And we looked at it, and the bikes were gone. The bike rack was gone.
Yeah, so it wasn't like just the bikes fell off.
It wasn't like a bike fell off. It was like
they never existed. They were never there.
Same license plate. Same car.
Mm-hmm.
But we can talk about that in another podcast.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of time things.
Because even doing that live stream yesterday, I'm like, oh, I have more ideas of what we could do, because we talk about mind palaces. We can talk about mind walking people. We can talk about this and that and this.
I'm also like
that's why I'm excited.
Interested about how that goes into our research about like consciousness.
Oh my god, like the timeline stuff or the mind walking or both?
Yes,
because I don't know why people talk about mind palaces, and I'm like, is that an actual thing, or is it something completely different? Because I thought it was like a metaphor for
I thought it was like your mind palace was like a place you imagine to like help yourself like regulate. Yeah. Like it's like think of a happy place, like that type of. That's what I assumed it was.
No idea.
But
we have a different meaning for it after doing some fun things with your brother Jay.
Yeah, but the next episode we're thinking about doing, like, we could do like maybe timelines, dream walking, like, because that like that all kind of like intertwines in weird ways.
Yeah, because that's like what happened like when I like first met you, and you were like, I do weird astral projection and timeline shit, and I'm like, tell me all about it. Also, teach me how to do it.
Yeah, I have some crazy stories about things, so we can.
Because this is the content that I would fucking love to hear about, because like. I loved hearing about it the first time. We could talk for hours about spiritual stuff like that.
Yeah, because one of the first, like, I mean, I had, like, the weird, like, dream astral projection whatever thing since I was a kid. Like, I had, like, a very specific, like, traumatic type one when I was a kid. That I told you about that one.
Okay.
That was the one where, like...
I remember.
There was like someone coming, like killing a family or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, where you were like someone else.
Yeah. It was like this
astral projection
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about the next one, huh?
But like, I don't know, like long before I ever got into this, I've had like really weird fucking experiences with that shit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about some of those stories
in the next
one. Do you have anything else to say about signs and symbols?
No, I don't. But if you guys want to continue hanging out with us, we have a part 2 that will be coming out as well. So that we're going to film that right after this. But part 2 is exclusive to our Patreon. So if you guys are interested, you can join. I think it's the Leviathan tier down below. I'll link it for you guys so you can watch the part 2 podcast. That's where we talk about all the tea stuff and stuff we don't necessarily want to talk about in public. You get
or even just like random
stuff.
things that have nothing to do with spirituality fully.
It's just stuff we don't want publicly facing on our YouTube channel. It's all of the secret stuff that we share with our members.
But if you want to continue to support us, you can go to our Patreon and join there. That is like the best way to kind of support us. You get extra content and stuff, or you can go to our website and we make like spirit guide and deity candles and have crystals and merch and stuff. So that's ouroboros.productions.com. We'll put all the links for everything in the description, and we'll see all of you lovely Patreon people
in part
2 after this. Goodbye.
Bye. Tornado warning in this area until 6:15.
God damn it.
It doesn't even seem like it's like windy outside. Oh.
Oh, I'm getting it too.
I'm keeping this in. Oh, that was. Oh.
Oh, nothing like getting a tornado warning. Take shelter now in basement.
Good thing we're in one. There's no windows over here either.
God. I know that there's tornadoes. Shut up. I also should say I am terrified of tornadoes.
I really want to see a tornado.
So this is like my nightmare.